There you go. Here's the link.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
There you go. Here's the link.
Okay. Things should be good. Then let's wait a couple of minutes so people can join.
Hello, Gordon. Nice to see you there.
Oh, Gordon is back, huh? Nice.
Fine, thanks. And you?
Pretty fine, Gordon, pretty fine, yep. Pretty good, actually.
If Gordon is there, we'll chart a bit of gold as well. Right, Alex?
Yeah, but I am actually looking at gold right now and nothing happened really. Wait, oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong chart. Let's see, gold. Yep, nothing happened. Again, for some reason I don't have my lines which we charted last time. God damn, this is annoying. Yes, this was a rejection point and now it's pumping again, but it's rejecting. Let me see. Yeah, I didn't lose a level yet, we can still break through. I mean, the same short that we had already from here still goes. You're expecting the usual analysis. What is the usual analysis, Gordon? Sorry.
It's BTC, of course.
I mean, we still had a short, like, I still stick with it, you know? Because we haven't really retraced anything, so still sticking with that one. But if this is the top, then wow, then gold is bullish. Holy shit, then that's kind of bullish level to react already so far from, right? But then again rejected here, so good chances of going at least down here. We'll see. We'll see for the gold. So do we have people in already?
Yeah, 9 people.
Ah, you're fine with gold now, Gordon. Okay, cool. Well, okay. Welcome back to another webinar, guys. If you have any questions like Gordon does, just post it in YouTube chat and we will try to answer them as best to our abilities, right? As we always do. But now I'm guessing everybody, wait, let me just close down the Telegram so I don't get all the notifications all the time. Anyways, let's start off with BTC, right? I mean, BTC was nothing but good to us last couple of streams, that's for sure, right? Basically, to kind of refresh our memory, wait, let me see what the previous stream was. It was on 21st, and if I'm not mistaken, on 21st, it was actually right here when we made this line. And says, and we said this is going to be our first short, and this is going to be our second short if it comes, but it was just filled up here and it broke down, right? Hit our first profit target, and then after like 2 days, I think that lasted like 2 days, 24. Oh, it's actually a little bit more than 2 days, but yeah, I mean, we could say here from here was 2 days. $700 pump, 800 almost. Move back up, right? Now I'm gonna say for the action that BTC pulled right in this corner, this is a little bit odd, right? But I'm not gonna say this is a little bit odd, right? But I'm not gonna say that after I saw this, I said something might happen, right? After I saw this specifically, right? Because Bitcoin did this so many times in the past. And what happens, right? So it goes down, hits this level, right? Like we go. Then it does a small pump and does the really bearish rejection, which is at this point, right? Then it goes back down, hold this level again, and then slowly starts to climb up, and then it pumps, right? But what my expectations were maximum to here, right? That was my maximum expectation for this pump to take us, and now it just suddenly broke through everything. So yeah, I'm gonna say this is a little bit odd, and would not expect it, and I'm going to say that it would have been a little bit, I could have been a little bit manipulated again. I'm just gonna say it like this, but I'm not gonna point any fingers because that doesn't make any point, right? So right now for Bitcoin, we rejected it again this level, which we had since up here pretty much for how long now? I think it was like months we have a level up here, right? So the second level right now, if this one will not hold, then the second level is going to be this. It's going to be around here. Actually, it is a little bit more of an area than a level. It is a little bit more of an area. It's like this. Oops. Would you please be so kind to work with me, chart? Yes, it's around here. That should be a vast enough area if we can still tag this one and still remain bearish. We're not bullish yet, right? Like I said in the previous streams, if we want to be bullish, this has to be broken. This has to be broken. This has to be broken, like I said, and it also has to end up here. Getting something like this does not count, as always, as I said. It's just a wick, you know. It can either go as the SFP or, you know, or stuff like that. So yeah, so for now, we can still tag this level and still go down bullish, right? There's also one more scenario that could happen right now, a little bit lower time frames. What basically happens is, this is really odd and unusual, but I've seen this action again on BTC. Okay, so basically you have this bump, right? You created this bump, you pull back down, you lose these levels, you know? So you lost this level and you lost this level, which is not considered bullish, right? Then if you go on the higher time frames, you bounce off this, which is basically a daily level, right? Now, if you go back to lower time frames and you reject this level again, this could now take you all the way. In theory, this could now take you all the way down to 7,300, where it was the original pump started, right? So this is where the original pump started. If this was to happen, then this would be a master play by Bitcoin, right? But obviously, like I said, it is a little bit weird that it pushed so far up. But if it rejects here and starts breaking down, and I'm going to say if it starts breaking down and it closes under this, if it closes under this box, right, then we have a good chance of hitting this level eventually, because this was the start of the pump. Now obviously we can get a reaction here because we had another start of the pump, but the overall structure to start of the pump was right here, right? So we have a good chance of hitting the second green one. So if something like this happens again, right? Basically, if something like this happens again, I will be looking for a short again on microspace. Let me delete this. Oh wait, I have to delete this one as well. Well, yes, I'm just gonna have to click on and delete it. If we get something like this right now, something like this, a little bounce here, right? We're gonna stay under here, or something even like this, even more, right? I'm gonna start looking again for a short in this area. I'm gonna start looking again the short for this area, which I'm hoping that we get a little pullback right here, and you know, go down. Definitely not in the line. Now, obviously, this speaking, there's a lot of bullish material on the. There's a lot of bullish material on Twitter and everywhere, so this could take even a month or plus. Because if you haven't noticed yet by now, is whenever we pump, so let's just say it for this, right? Whenever we pump like this, right? This happens in like a couple of days, right? This happens like 2, 3, 4 days, right? But whenever we dump, look how long it takes, you know? So dumpings, they take a lot longer than pumps, you know? See what this looks. We look how long we try to dump, blah blah blah, and then it suddenly pumps, you know, pumps. So pumps, as you can see from this chart, are a lot faster than dumps, right? Even here, look how long it took it to dump, and we continue dumping here, and then pump like right back at it in like, I don't know, a week or two or something like that, right? So it takes a lot longer to dump than to pump, right? So which basically means there's a lot of people are bullish, right? That's a good sign. That's a good sign. A lot of people are bullish. There's a lot of buy signs, even volume. Let's see the volume if it's showing us the same. I mean, the volume increased a little bit, so that's also a good thing, yeah. On weekly chart, not so much, except these two pumps, but it's still going down. But we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, before we go up above the 10k and break the pattern that if we go on weekly has been with us. You see, there it is, has been with us for so long. Until we break this one above the 10k, above the 10k, I cannot be bullish, and I'm gonna say that again. I'm gonna say it every stream, because that's just the rule it is for the price action. You know, gotta accept the price action. Even if we want to be bullish, we can't be yet because of that pattern that hasn't been broken yet, right? Obviously, a lot of people are gonna long in hindsight. I'm not going to say wrong, like longs down here or right. You could even smash along right here. But right now, in here, this position right now, you can't log anymore. So basically, either you have to wait for it to touch, opala, to touch a level up here, and then possibly pull backs. But on pullback around here, I wouldn't be long in here. But I guess if you're extra bullish, this will be your area, right? To long. It's this one is high risk long. I also have to mention before we go forward. But if we break this, then we will gonna have to start longing a little bit more aggressively, right? And I'm hoping at least this style level will be tagged again, and this level hopefully it's gonna be tagged again. But looking from the past dumps, it might not be tagged. So basically, when we first blow out, we will have to see how far we will blow out or what's gonna happen, right? And then we will have to take one of the most aggressive levels, which can be up here, which can be here. I mean, sorry, this one, right? It just depends on what the price action is going to be when we blow out. We can't predict that one because either it can go from here, it can blow up and then go to 12k, right? Or it can just blow up a little bit and go back down. You can't predict this stuff in the future, right? So yeah, so those are two plays. Possibly, like we mentioned, it's possible that we still go down and tag to 7,300. Exactly what happens here. If we blow out, we can still reject this point. This would be kind of the last point of rejection where we can still go down. We can blow 10k and then we start being bullish. But if we can still do like something like this on 10k, you just get past 10k, you get big, you close right back under, and you then remain as you get an SFP, and then you still remain bearish, right? So we have like possible 4 option outcomes, right? So right now, right here, there's nothing else to do except short. If this pattern proves to be right, it's a lot safer than long for sure. Because right now, if you look at it from the past perspective, from the previous structures like this, you have a lot more downside than you have the upside, right? Because if this pattern plays to be true, right, then your next trade, next bigger trade is down here, right? So basically, even if you use basic logics here, right, and you have to gain 15%, but you can lose 40%, right, to even 45%. So downside is a lot bigger than upside, right? So thus you have to still stick with the bearish. It's better to be short than long at the moment, right? And the previous week we also covered on stream the Ethereum. Yes, Ethereum. So we basically said Ethereum that it has to hold this area for it to continue being so bullish as it is, right? Because Ethereum, as I mentioned, he's falling a lot behind Bitcoin, a lot. So around after holding this area, and it's actually making good progress to break this high, right? It's again for Ethereum, it's key that it breaks this, like we spoke in the previous. It's key for it to break this, right? And keeping its original bullishness right now, this has a good chance of breaking up. This is a lot more, even more aggressive level than it was on Bitcoin. See, because on Bitcoin it used the previous level, but on Ethereum it used the past levels. The levels that happened in the past. It already used them and breaks up, right? So now this is a very good chance of hitting this green line, or perhaps even go forward, and we can finally get this. We can finally get this area, which we've been waiting for so long. So yeah, Ethereum right now looks good. Can't really complain about it too much. And if it goes above here, it breaks a pattern, like the same pattern as it had. It keeps going down, then pumps a little bit, keeps going down, and we will see, right? If it stops around this area again, the pattern continues. You're not blind, right? You can see this. The pattern usually continues, right? But this time, there's one key component. We didn't go lower before we pumped, right? Because every time when we pumped like this, we went lower than previous low, but this time we didn't. So that's a key element, right? So now we can test this area, and we can go a little bit down, and then we can probably break it out, right? So that's a good chance of that happening as well. But again, that's just a prediction. We have to see what's gonna happen first before we say anything further, because we don't like to predict stuff. Because predictions are for Twitter and everything else, and they don't really make you much money, do they, right? Gordon asks, are you guys bearish on BTC? Like I just explained, Gordon, we are still bearish on BTC unless it's gonna break down, and I hope you agree with me, Arnaud, right?
Yeah.
Unless it breaks up here, we can be bearish, because we have good sentiment to be bearish. Because look, Bitcoin did this all the time. See, one pump, didn't break the high, go lower, right? Pump didn't break the high, go lower. Dump, pump didn't break the high, went lower, right? We just did all the time, and then we get a little bit higher pump because we exhausted the downside, right? We didn't break the high again, and we didn't even break the main level here, right? And we go lower, and pump, we go lower, pump, we go lower. You see the pattern? And until this pattern breaks, we can't assume it's not bearish. I mean, we can't assume it's not bullish, right? So we gotta stick with it until it breaks. You know, sometimes it's just simple as that. You know, it doesn't have to be some complicated trading with 5,000 indicators in it, and you know, if you do like 3-4 lines, it can already tell you so much of the story of the chart. You just have to listen to the chart. You have to see the chart, and you know, you gotta think logically. It's all that it is. Most of the things can be solved by just doing the basic law, by applying the basic logic to it, right? So yeah, basically covered the Ethereum, same stuff. Ethereum, yeah. So even Binance, right? Binance has some news that they're. Oh yeah, I hope nobody was infected by this coronavirus, guys. That seems to be spreading down to China. So if anybody is there, I do hope you guys will stay safe from it. I also have to mention that Binance is actually opening a fund for coronavirus, so they will actually help people. So I guess this is just part of their action, as we previously mentioned. They're losing volume on all the pairs that they're just trying to do with this stuff just to prevent it, right? Let's start with ADH. Oops, I just messed up my chart. Let's see, ADH. Let's see what's going on. ADH. Oh, that's good. So ADH is breaking from what we previously said, and this is important breakout. But see again, this is not what you want to see yet, right? Yes, it broke out, but look, it's a wick. You don't want to see that. So it really depends how it's gonna close now. If it's closed under this, and then it's gonna be another day and another day. If they all close under this, then that's a bad sign, right? You want stuff to close above this, right? Above this line to actually gain something from it, right? So right now, not much to say. It still applies for what to say. We had a level down here. It was actually filled beautifully before it moved back up. Now it's actually just waiting here. What's gonna happen? We still don't know yet. But as we mentioned, the main level for to do some serious damage on the chart, still here, man. Still here. Like nothing has changed. This is just baby stuff for it so far. Yes, we still have our level down here. Was never filled, and it starts to do accumulation. And this is what we were discussing the previous time. Okay, so we see accumulation across the charts for alts, right? And usually when you see accumulation across the chart for alts, Bitcoin tends to go down as well, because you know you need something to fuel those accumulations. So people have to sell their BTC, right? In order to drive the prices of alts up, right? And I guess this is sort of happening right now, because again, this was accumulation, and now it's starting to break out again, right? So we will, in a couple of weeks or 2-3 weeks, we could pretty much have plenty of trades here, right? I mean, so for ES it's important it breaks this. If it breaks this, we're gonna look for a trade on it, and we will hopefully have a trade for a little bit longer periods of time. We will see what happens here in the future. We also see a little bit increase in volume, which is also good. But you can see this sort of pattern in all across the worlds, right? Okay, this was one interesting. We did it on the last stream as well, if I remember. So, oh yeah, this is actually the pattern we were explaining to you. If you go watch the past video, we were stuck around here, right? Wait, I'm not even sure where we are. Okay, we had it around here. Okay, cool. This is where we had the stream. So the thing is, what I said, classical accumulation pattern, right? You got something like this. People are buying, and then you have that last dump that takes out the lows, that scares all the people out, and a lot of people sold here, right? A lot of people sold here, and then you can basically see, that whales started to entering here, right? But this is not our entry, because from back then we don't know if this is gonna be it, right? And then you finally break up, right? We finally break out, and this is where we draw this level, and this is our trade, right? And it feels perfectly and start bouncing, right? And this is also already a pretty nice reaction, if I'm not mistaken. It's not 1 hour yet, but it is. Oh yeah, that was our first profit target. So I guess this one is gonna be hit in upcoming week, and this is actually a pretty beautiful pattern. But like I said before, we have to do at least this line if we want to get something on LTC, some action on LTC, further action, I'm going to say. And again, guys, if you have any questions while I'm explaining all this, don't hesitate to post it in the YouTube chat. I am ready to answer them all, and so is Arnaud. LTC, TRX, our favorite coin, never got filled, so sadly. It's not, it's like the accumulation pattern as well playing out like we said it, but sadly this doesn't get filled if it's gonna pump above this line right now. Perhaps on on TRX, maybe I was a little bit too bearish. I could have actually taken a trade right here, I'm not gonna lie. This level was good for trade. I guess I was perhaps a little bit too bearish on it because the market that was back in 8th of January, I was a little bit slimy about BTC. Let me see, that was the point here. So yeah, because if BTC pumped too much, I would get wrecked on that trade. So perhaps looking at back right now, I was perhaps a little bit too bearish. But you know, everybody can be a general after the battle. I'm not gonna say that I missed a trade, but I'm gonna wait for now. If it's gonna break this, then I'm gonna start taking levels a little bit more aggressively, probably around something like this. We'll see that. I'm not gonna start prediction, but I'm just gonna leave a line here if it's the case to break this. If it's this, it's going to be our next possible trade, right? I'm gonna save it this time because for some reason my lines are not being saved from the stream. I don't know what kind of black voodoo magic is that, but sometimes it just happens that I just lose these lines like I did on gold. XRP is still the level we had. My god, still the level we had. This one was already filled, pumped already all the way up to the level, and still. And right now you just can't do anything with it. You know, this is not really. I mean, it's not even worth it because you can still do this and then starts doing the same as LTC and pumps, right? So after trading this one, right now it's done. Now you just gotta wait for some action to form. For now, you know, I mean, it's not nor bullish nor bearish. One of those spots when you can't really say because like it's still under the main level of the chart. So technically, on the long term, like high time frames, weekly plus, right? It's still bearish. But you can see there's sort of a, you know, there's sort of accumulating. People are accumulating, and even look at this. You know, look at the volume setting going up, right? So wouldn't be surprised if we suddenly like pumped, right? Because this is what crypto does. You know, crypto you gotta do like this and then puff. You know, it cannot be nice and easy like other markets that go like this. You know, so you have your chances to enter back into the trade or, you know, to participate in a trade. To be honest. Yeah, so that would be it for XRP. Nothing to do right here. We can just sit and watch, see what it does, and that's it. Also, me and Arnold are gonna call one trade. I had one prepared for you guys. I actually had two trades, but I'm not mistaken. Give me a second. Let me find them. Oh, BNB, yes, BNB. Okay, so BNB. When is this trade? We can post this trade actually, Arnold. I'm not actually sure we posted this one yet, but I just drew it last time. BNB, yeah, we can post this one for the channel and hopefully it's gonna get hit. And then also I got another trade. Let me just spread out a little bit. Sorry, what?
We'll post it just right after the stream.
We still have this trade posted and I'm still gonna keep it because now it looks good to be actually hit. I wouldn't move it up, I still wouldn't wait for it here. But I actually have one more. It's called Tomo, which was a favorite coin of everybody. And it's actually, we will gonna have to post it quite soon after this, quite soon after the, what's it called, stream, because it's gonna be around here, like we have, opa, what did I click now? We can post it right here, around here, along position, let's see, it's gonna be a pretty good trade. That's 13% stop, nope, that's too slow. I don't have a good stop to place, yeah, around here. So basically it's gonna be around here, with profit target up on here. Yes, about that, a little bit down, just for safety, bam, and the second profit target around, wait, let me see, here we go, around here, yeah, that would be a good one. 2.6, we will post this one after the, stream as well, and hopefully it's gonna get filled in like next 2 days or 3 days, perhaps even sooner. It's actually a pretty nice trade that I'm glad to take it. I mean, I would take it any day because, you know, you had such a huge pump and you're slowly coming down and now you're just reacting from these levels. You know, you reacted from those, reacted from this one, you know. It's just something like this. It's a nice trade. And that's basically it for now. I don't have anything more. We played this once, we got missed by a little one here. XLM, yeah. There's a lot of trades, you know, that were in accumulation area that now pumped, you know, and suddenly got this little pump, right? And then you can continue with these trades onward because they, some of them actually gained something, but a lot of them didn't do shit. Like this one, you know, you might think this one did something whereas it pumped like that, but it didn't do much shit, yeah. But yet, if we follow the basic accumulation pattern, we do have a chance of getting a trade right here, right? But it is a little bit of a gamble. Why? Because, you know, if you think about it, where are you gonna place the stop, you know? You can place a stop right here, you know, but that's like, it can still be tacked and then it can still turn and go up, right? That's the only gay shit about these things, you know. You don't have a proper stop placement because the crypto charts, they pump so fast, they leave these horrible gaps after them, right? So it's just gay, you know. And even if you put it like this and then we already on minus, I mean, we already have like 13% stop, right? But if we put our trade lower to something like this, which is really risky in this, right? And then most of the time we're just not gonna be hit on the trade, right? And then we miss the entire trade and we're sad again. So it's really hard when it comes to crypto in these low liquidity times, right? That it's really hard to find these trades because when it pumps so fast that it doesn't create anything for you to hold on. But then when it dumps, you know, it just slowly dumps, and then you have something. But it's just hard when you have this stuff like this. Okay, we have. So guys, do we have any questions? Come on, any questions? Anything? We covered the major alts. We covered the Bitcoin. We covered the Ethereum. Do we have any other questions so that I don't just, like, you know, scroll through these alts and nag about it how bad they are? Because that's not what I like to do. A lot of charts still looking like this, going for lower lows, you know. So that's what I'm saying. Like, where will the BTC stop if so many charts are in accumulation area? That's a pretty good question if you ask me.
Yeah, no question, no question for now.
Well, if there's no questions, we covered all the major ones. So if you guys got no questions, we can basically wrap this one up.
Yeah, I think this is basically it.
Yep. So I guess
One last question, guys.
Link like this, if you look at it, Link is like quite reversed. So Link looks like it's going through distribution, and I think we already mentioned this in the previous ones. So yeah, Link could go back here, maybe it bounce a little bit, and then possibly even lower to like bottom of this range, or even lower to like this one. So interesting. I will set up to see if this one is gonna work out. Actually, we're gonna get another bounce here. Maybe we can try for another trade here. Why not? Because we just love him like that, right? We love trades like that. We'll see what happens. Well, okay, Arnaud. So if we don't have any questions, I guess we can wrap this up. We pretty much explained the whole aspect of the market, what's going on, how Bitcoin is behaving, and how everything. How about Gordon, ETC, Ethereum BTC actually. Okay, let's see Ethereum BTC. Oh man, drew this back so long ago, and actually was hit. Let me see what happened. Let me see what happened after that. So basically, we are still bearish, huh? Oh my god, this looks horrible. Wait, do we have like other charts? Bittrex maybe? Okay, there was a first area to buy. God damn, I guess we got missed by a little. Okay, second area for buy. I don't know when I drew this, but I guess it was pretty accurate. I mean, it was close to accuracy. When we have the reaction here for like 40% happens. I'm going to say it like this. Current to this behavior, holy shit, this can go even lower, to be honest, man. Like, actually, I'm gonna say like this. It's like crucial if it stays above this, right? But this rejecting this already after a pump doesn't give me a lot of courage. So yeah, it could still do something like this and then go up. So we can still see going a little bit lower, right? I'm gonna say it's still possible that it dumps lower because this doesn't look like nice. This doesn't look bullish at all, right? I mean, to some degree, if you look at this, right? Just remember, just remember this right now, right? And we go back to BTC, to like 4K. I mean, sorry, to like daily. Let's and go back to this. You see, it's so similar. You see, you had this, you had this, you had this, right? You have this. Oh yeah, the rejection. The rejection was not here. So basically, on Ethereum, Bitcoin, the rejection was here already. So yeah, okay. So in Bitcoin, you went all the way down here, but it's actually possible that on Ethereum we can go a little bit lower. We can create lower low because we didn't have such a nice reaction like we had here. So yeah, Gordon, I'm gonna say for now it's still looking bad. Ethereum Bitcoin chart. Can't say anything more about it, to be honest. Okay, I guess this is it then, guys. I hope everybody is having a good week, and I guess we will be seeing you each next week again around this hour, because it seems like this hour seems to be work for you guys, right?
It seems a lot better than 8
Yeah.
p.m. So I think we'll stick
We're
with that.
testing. Yeah, we're testing a little bit other time frames. Yeah, every week to see which one works the best. And 5 o'clock seems to be working quite nicely.
Yeah.
Anyways, don't forget, if you have any other questions, don't forget to ask them in traders chat, or we always answer there. I mean in trader room, and also signals are coming from algo bots and everything around. So I think we do have a plenty of signals now. So everything seems to be running good, and we're getting that education in, guys, right? So yeah, take care, guys, and then see you at the next one, right?
See you next week, guys.
See you.